Hello my friends, it's Milrev, and I seem to have been trapped on yet another deserted planet with only this stick and little hope and even littler light. But wait, there's a button on this stick. What does it do? Oh, this could be extremely useful. Let's go ahead and explore this house now that we have some light. It seems to be some kind of puzzle. There's a lit torch and an unlit torch. I feel like there's a lot of mysteries in this house. What happens if we light this torch? Wow! There's another room behind here. I wonder what lays at the end of the room and wait for us, but first I want to teach you guys how to make these torches for yourselves. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to make your own torches, which you can have a handheld or you can have ones on the wall or floors for your games. Let's go ahead and start with the handheld. So all we're going to do is go into the game screen camera, first person, and grab our right hand. I'm going to make it so that you can't put down the torch just as part of my game, but you could use the grab node on function if you wanted to be able to put it down. Let's head into the settings. The carrying style, we want it to be precise. Also, turn it on the mode from hold to toggle. If you're going to be using the grabbing function, doesn't really matter for us since we're not going to be. But the snap distance is going to make a big difference. I think it's good to set this for about 0.5 for what we're going to do. This is basically how far away the thing you're carrying is going to be. So you can adjust it to your liking for whatever you're going to hold. Next, we're going to have to make the torch. So to do so, we're just going to call up a simple cylinder and we're going to go into the settings. This is going to be the base for the torch. So I have it set for 0.1 by 0.3. Also, we're going to turn this invisible because we'll use a texture, make it solid and definitely movable. We're going to want the connection point to be Y- to Y+ here. It's going to be kind of hard to see, so you might want to bring this close to your hand node on, then connect the bottom circle up to the right hand. This will put it in your character's hand. Then we can duplicate this one here and connect it up the bottom circle to the top one now. This cylinder is going to be the flame, so we're going to make it a little bit smaller, 0.2 on the Y, but everything else should be the same. Next, we just need to make the textures for the torch. To make the texture for the torch, I just use kind of a brown background with a lighter brown little wood pieces. You can hook that up to the handles here. It's not too difficult to make. For the flames, I wanted kind of a shining effect, so I just basically drew a random outline with the yellow on top, then orange and red, and made two unique ones for it. Just make sure they're the same size, about 0.2 by 0.2. And I want to connect these both up to the cylinder here that we're using for our flame. In order to make these go at different times, we're going to need a timer, and you can decide how often you want them to switch. So I'm going into here and I'm going to put output after 0.5 and continue the output for half as long. So it'll be on for 0.25 and off for 0.25. Then connect the output of the timer to a visible port, and we want a not node on, which we're going to connect to the other one. So when this one turns off, this one should be on. Next, we don't always want these on, so we're going to need a toggle switch, which I'm going to use B as the button for my switch. You can use whichever one you want to toggle it on. Just make sure you put on press and not while pressed. Then to create the switch, we need to go into the flag node on, and we're going to make a simple on-off switch. To do this, you'll need also an and node on. Take the output of the flag and put it in this input 2 here, and take the B and put it into the other input for the and the result of the and is to turn the flag off. So if the flag is off and you press B, it'll turn on. If it's on and you press B, it'll turn off. Next, we're going to put the flag node on into the timer, and let's go ahead and copy the and node on here. Actually, we're going to need it for the second one of these textures. You'll want to put the not node on into the and node on, and also the flag. So this means when the timer is not active and the flag is on, then we're going to make this one visible. Otherwise, it'll always be visible. Lastly, we're going to need a wormhole. We're going to be using this as light. So let's do L for light and plug that into the flag here. This wormhole will allow us to tell when the torch is on so it can activate other torches as well. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. Alright, it should look like this right here. We have our little stick, and you can adjust the snap distance or even the length of the torch if you want to make it longer. We can make it a little longer and see how it works. Alright, I actually adjusted the size of the torch and I really like it. I made it 0.5, so you can't see the yellow part as easily. This is perfect, actually. So you might want to adjust your length of your torch, and you can press B to turn it on. When it's on, you can turn it off. But right now, it's actually not generating any light, so let's fix that. In order to make it generate light, you're going to want to get a effect, and the effect we want to use is, of course, light. Now, this one needs to be really big. It creates a smaller effect than you would expect, so we're going to connect this to the actual lantern part, and we want this to be active whenever the flag is on over here. Now you can either connect this directly from the flag, or you can use a wormhole exit. I kind of want to keep things nice and clean, so let's go ahead and use an L wormhole exit and plug it directly into the light. So when the flag is on, we'll have the light turn on as well. And also make sure that you set this one to the world and turn properties to invisible. Also, the effect timing you want while not 0, otherwise it won't stay on. Alright, let's see if this helps. So here we have our torch, and whenever we press the B button, it turns on and it generates light, which is exactly what we want a torch for in the first place. It's looking good, but there's still a few things we need to do in order to make these puzzles and also these standing torches. The last thing you can do for your hand torch is add a sound effect. So there actually is a really good sound effect for this one. If you head into ambient and use flame loop, then you can plug this one straight into your flag node on here. And it's pretty loud, so I would recommend taking the constant and putting it down to about 0.3, just because it's going to be close to you all the time. You could optionally also forego this and then just have it activate with the ones on the wall as well. So plug this into the volume section and it should be pretty good. When you turn it on now, it's going to have that nice crackly sound effect. So here I have the torch, which I made actually longer, and when we turn it on, it creates light and also a little bit of sound. In order to create a freestanding torch, we're going to copy a lot of these node-ons, but not all of them. So hold the ZL button and go all the way across. Deselect anything with the L, the right hand. We don't need this B either. And there's a few more things actually that we don't need, but we'll go ahead and copy these. We can change the comment to free torch or free torch 1, so you can label them if you want. We also want to get rid of anything that's going to be specific to our hand torch, like this L button as well. The rest of it we actually want to keep. So basically we have all the similar effects, but there's going to be a different way that we want to activate them. So we're going to call up a touch sensor for this. This touch sensor is going to be looking for the person. So let's deselect everything except person. Turn it invisible. We want it while touched. I think that should be big enough. And we're going to connect this touch sensor up to the actual torch. We can also actually leave this on visible to make sure that it's close enough for a little bit. To make it activate the torch, we want to make sure that the lantern is lit in our hand. Otherwise, it wouldn't really make much sense. So let's call up that L node-on from before. Have a wormhole exit. So we want to make sure the person is close to the torch and also that the torch in their hand is lit. So let's put these together and then put this into the flag here and also into the off switch here. Well, actually, let's not have an off switch because these will just say they stay lit. So just like that. We also want to make sure that we trigger the light effect on this one. So now we should have our torch down here. Lastly, we want to make sure it's not movable and also that the position is exactly half of the size of it so it won't be floating in the air. Let's go check it out. So here we have our torch, and if we head over here, it seems that the box is about the right size. So if the player's in here and we have this activated, then it'll activate this one as well. You can turn off the visibility for that now as well. So let's go into the touch sensor, turn off the visibility. And in order to make sure that this is on the wall, all we have to do is take the bottom cylinder, the one connected to the wood, and find a nice wall like this one. We're going to change the z-axis to 30 degrees. Depending on where you want to put it in your room, you can change the x-axis as well. You'll have to mess around with it a little bit depending on the wall you're using. Of course, if you want to, you can adjust where it is, the size and everything, but it should work the same. And now you have a freestanding torch on the wall. If you don't want people to activate it, you just want it to naturally be on, all you have to do is switch out this flag and put a 1 constant in here into the on section, and this will keep it on forever. This will be a lot better for probably most situations, actually. So now it's just on all the time, and it can be used to light any pathway pretty easily. Lastly, this is kind of messy, but I have all my torches that need to be lit going into Nodons, and once they've all been activated, they'll activate a destroy box, which will reveal the ending. So let's check it out. Alright, my friends, we are not afraid. We have a torch now, so we can see our way, and we can light up these unlit lanterns and reveal the secrets of this place. Just like that. There are only 2 more left. You guys can use this for your own puzzles, or you can use it to light up your buildings or anything in Game Builder Garage. If it's helped you out, make sure you guys leave a like and also subscribe for more fun and awesome tutorials. Now we have the signal fire, and they can definitely see that from space. I'm sure we'll be saved in no time. Till next time, keep lighting the way, and God bless.